All right. You guys ready?
One sec. I just want to look at something real quick.
Maybe we should have an intro. Maybe we should start doing that.
That's what I was asking you about, like if we could do like music or something. Did you see now I can't think of it. The new football league. They were using
the USFL.
Yeah, they were using all the NFL's like music.
Were they?
Well, it's because it's still on NBC.
Oh, okay.
So it's technically NBC's music. I thought what was interesting about that. Did you see the drone shots with like the kickoffs and stuff like that?
One of the drones is gonna either die or get hit.
Well, I mean, a lot of the people were complaining that it was like, oh, this is like, it looks bad or whatever. But like, I mean, it did kind of look bad. Like the camera work was but it's such a cool idea that I would love if they can get it like down and like make it like look really, really good. I'd be excited to see stuff
like
in the future.
Trying to put such a good camera on a drone.
Well, they've got like really, really good cameras for these drones. I think the problem is finding one that can transmit the signal because you have to do it wirelessly. So, I mean, you can get beautiful drone shots, but like it's so hard for you to transmit that to a broadcast. Yeah. Like that's the tough part that you run into.
Steven Adams.
Oh, I guess we should technically like introduce it now. Yo, what's up, guys? Welcome back to another Cork It podcast. My name is Kyle Schwieger. I'm joined here by
JJ Boffman,
Nico and JJ.
Unfortunately, no Dante today. He's still at home. I know. I'm mad because we were getting ready for some hot takes. But don't worry. There will not be any missing Dante content this week. We've got a video of him that's supposed to go out soon of his NBA picks. So we'll have that posted soon, hopefully. So real quick, first of all, welcome back, episode 3. Let's do a little bit around the league this week. There was some interesting stuff that happened, some stuff I want to talk about. You sent me a little post today that today, Monday, when we're filming this, is the 1-year anniversary since the Super League for soccer started, and it lasted 48 hours.
It did indeed.
I mean, here's my problem is like you're a huge soccer fan.
Yeah.
So for you, this Super League was a travesty.
Oh, I was made me so mad.
But for the casual soccer fan, this was actually a really cool idea because it would be like in college football making a super conference and you just put Clemson, Ohio State, all these really good colleges. But then, you've got the bad colleges that are in Power 5. So like you've got teams in the ACC that kind of suck and they're like, ending with the downsides of it. So
yeah, I think for soccer fans, I think the biggest problem that people had with it was there wasn't any promotion or relegation in the league. So obviously, like, you're going to want to watch games of Real Madrid versus PSG and like all these great clubs in different leagues, different countries playing against each other, but that's what the Champions League is for, but that has promotion and relegation, like each club in the country, so like the Premier League or La Liga or the Bundesliga, like I know definitely for the Premier League, and I just don't want to be wrong, but definitely in the Premier League it's the top 4 teams. They go on to the Champions League next year, and like if you don't make it, then you don't make it, even if you were in Champions League the year before. So like you still have to stay good, and
there's incentives to being good.
Right. And for fans of clubs who might not be good right now or are like not even in any of those leagues, because in around the world it's a lot different with how sports work compared to here in America. So like in America, like the NFL, like it's the NFL. I mean, same with baseball. Like you don't see AAA teams suddenly being in the MLB, or you don't see NBA G League teams suddenly joining the NBA.
Unless you're a Thunder fan. In which we play our G League team on a regular basis.
So like that was the biggest problem people had with it, because I mean, Manchester City, they're in the Champions League semifinal, Manchester City in the Champions League semifinal, and 50 years ago they were like a farm team, you know, like they weren't anyone, and they eventually got better and developed and got financial backing, and like eventually became the like great club they are, as much as it pains me to say it. But
well, like I think that's what you said, is there's room to improve, there's room to grow, there's places you can go. There's no like basketball team that just starts up and is like, you know, we're gonna be in the NBA one day. You know what I'm saying?
Right, because that's just not how the
expansion works. It's not how the league works as a whole. But like soccer's been doing that for like
forever.
Ever. Yeah. There's been like no formal like NBA or football leagues that has kind of done that. I mean, obviously, like, you know, when you go to the very early starts of the league and there's like a team and they're like, okay, we're going to add this in, or like the ABA, NBA like merger. But like now that these leagues are established, there's still none of that culture there.
Yeah.
But I do love that. Like, that's one of my favorite things about soccer is the opportunity to, you know, advance. And like, if you do good, and then it like, you know, if you're tanking, like there's no such thing as tanking, because if you tank, you get demoted, right?
Yeah.
Or
and so, yeah, like in contrast, like, it doesn't matter how much money you have or what players you have. Like, if you get relegated, you get relegated, and you're in the second tier league of whatever until you get promoted again. So
yeah, I think it's interesting. I know I get all my soccer knowledge from Ted Lasso, so I think that's
that's about it. For
that's
me.
kind of where, but that's I get some understanding for the game, and I think that's what's so cool about the show. So other stuff around the league, NBA playoffs started this week. We got the couple first round games. We got a beautiful Nets Celtics game. So much fun to watch. That was great game. Really, really cool. They also announced the award finalists. Did you take a look at that list? There was a couple people. We made our predictions last episode. There was a couple people missing, I think, that Nico was looking for. For me, my pick for Defensive Player of the Year was Bam, and he wasn't even on the list. I think probably because of how many games he missed. MVPs, Jokic, Embiid, and Giannis are the finalists.
Not much of a surprise.
No, not at all. I saw Kevin Love up there for Sixth Man of the Year. I picked him as my runner-up. Desmond Bane wasn't up there for MIP, which
Jordan
was my
Poole
pick.
Wasn't there on MIP. I don't know why both those guys were not on it. I mean, looking at stats and stuff, they're clearly like some of the most improved players in the NBA, so I don't know why they weren't in the finalists tops. But
outside of the NBA, though, we got some football. The Packers signed Sammy Watkins last week.
You like that pick?
I mean, I don't hate it. I think it's good. We need wide receivers, so like we got him for a 1 year, $4 million deal. So I mean, if he does great, fantastic. If he does horrible, whatever. I mean, it's just a shot. I kind of liked it though. We need wide receivers. It's a good step in the right direction. And then the Colts signed Stephon Gilmore this past week. That was a good pickup for them. Outside of both those sports, we've got some women's gymnastics. Oklahoma won the women's gymnastics championships.
Nice.
That's pretty interesting. Also, the first baseball power rankings dropped. Dodgers, Blue Jays, and White Sox are the top three. That's the extent we're going to talk about baseball. Actually, no, I do have something I want to talk about baseball.
Kyle wants to
I kind of want to talk about this. I'll get into this right after I finish this, though, because here's my last thing about Around the League. These are technically not sporting things, but Kendrick Lamar is dropping a new album.
Finally,
indeed.
It's been like 5 years.
Yeah, in 1 month. It's May 13th is when it's coming out. I'm very excited for that. It's been so long. Last time he dropped an album, we were freshmen in high school, so that was kind of crazy. The other thing is, did you see they dropped the trailer for the new Thor movie?
I saw that. It looks really good.
I haven't watched it.
I think it looks good, but I don't know. Like, it was like obviously just a teaser trailer, right? Yeah. So like it's nothing like, it's not supposed to give us any plot or anything. Right. But like, I don't know if it.
I'm like, I've also like seen some small videos and like read a little bit about it, but I just feel like the concept they're gonna do with it, I feel like it'll be really good for like Thor's character.
Yeah, it'll be very different.
I think it's gonna be good.
It'll be like a character development movie, so it like for the average Marvel fan, they might not enjoy it as much. I'm also gonna be interested to see how big of a role the actual Guardians of the Galaxy play in it, because like they had like 2 shots of them in it in the teaser trailer.
I think they're gonna be a decent role, because I think I've heard stuff that Guardians of the Galaxy 3, like Thor is gonna be in that too. So I've like heard stuff, and like again, like I don't read comics, but like I watch videos on it sometimes. Yeah.
Like, he's scouring the internet for like Marvel theory videos.
I've like seen stuff that like Thor like in the comics like actually joins the Guardians of the Galaxy. So like I think that's gonna be like the 3rd movie for them. But
I don't know. I've gotten kind of burnt out on like getting super hype about a Marvel movie.
I have.
I
will always get hyped about,
because like the movies like no matter when I find out like who's gonna be in it, what's gonna be in it, like the movie's not gonna change, you know. So like I'll see it like when it comes out, and it'll probably be a really great movie, and I'll enjoy it. But just like it also feels like there's been so many movies that have like had stuff leaked or like put out about it, and then it just like sort of can ruin the movie, you know.
Just don't look at leaks.
I don't, but like
I'm kind of like my thing about
yeah.
My thing about Marvel is that I've gotten so behind on Marvel content.
Yeah.
Like I didn't watch Hawkeye. I didn't watch.
Right.
I didn't see Shang-Chi or Eternals.
I've seen all those.
The last
Great shows and movies.
The last Marvel thing I watched was Spider-Man. Like that was the last thing I watched, and it was December.
Yeah.
And then before that, it would have been.
Was that December?
I watched Black Widow last summer.
Yeah.
So like
that
that was like it for me, but I don't know. I need
all the shows. I mean,
I heard Moon Knight's really good.
I love Moon Knight.
I just haven't gotten to sit down and watch it.
Only 3 episodes are out. The 4th one's coming out Wednesday, but it's really good.
I might need to catch up. I'm behind on everything because I'm like 3 episodes behind on Atlanta now too, and those are short, so I need to catch up on those. So yeah, that's our little round the league. Got a little off topic there, although I do like talking about other stuff other than sports. Okay, I have a little rant to start off this podcast with. I would call myself a casual baseball fan. I am by no means any huge baseball fan, and I do kind of like baseball. I'll watch it if it's on.
Yeah, same.
Like, and I'll watch. You know, I'm a Reds fan, right? Like, you know, I was raised a Reds fan. My dad was a big Reds fan when he grew up. So, but even now, I was talking to my dad. My dad's like, yeah, we're Reds fans. Like we're not like we're like casual fans. We'll go to games. We'll see the big name players come in. You know, but I by no means am I a huge diehard baseball fan. So I'm gonna preface that with this, right? With that. I think the reason that I'm not a huge baseball fan is because I don't like advanced statistics, and that's all baseball is, right? Because like, well,
that's all it's
become. It's all it's become, yeah. So in the NBA, excuse me, I look at points, rebounds, assists, turnovers, blocks, field goal percentage, right? Past that, it's gibberish. I don't care, right? So with the MLB, right, you've got hits, errors, runs, RBI, whatever.
Yeah.
Like RBI percentage, I don't know, whatever. And then there's like all of these advanced statistics, and I don't know what any of them mean, right? It's so difficult. That's why if you're a baseball statistician, you are one of the smartest people I've ever met. Like that is insane. It's like a new language.
Yeah.
Okay. So going through that, I am a casual baseball fan. And there is this thing going around about, you know, baseball is a dying sport, right? And I think this is one of the reasons. And I think that, and I'm gonna do this, right? So I saw this tweet the other day. It's from Glover Quinn Jr. is the Twitter handle. If you want to look at it, you can. For YouTube video, for the YouTubers, we'll post it right here so you can watch it.
Look around, stay low, make sure they don't see.
So here's the tweet, right? He goes, "My son hit a home run and started doing the gritty coming home." For all you audience members that don't know what the gritty is, it's a little dance move, right? That was popularized.
Show us how to do it.
I'm not going to. It was popularized in the NFL as a touchdown celebration, right?
Yeah.
And this kid is 10 years old, mind you.
It was his first home
10
run,
years
I
old.
think, too.
Was it his first home run? It looked like it, right? So he hits the home run. He starts hustling down towards first, gets around first. He starts jumping up. And then he's just running the bases like normal. And then as he rounds third, for literally 2 to 3 seconds, he does the little dance.
His teammates are all huddled around the plate. Like
his teammates are all huddled around the plate, and they're start going crazy. And the funniest thing is at the end of the video, after they celebrate with him at the plate, the other teammates do the gritty back towards the dugout, right? So like just the kids having fun. And this tweet went viral. It's got 1 million views right now, this video. And I went and looked at the comments, and they are appalling. Like
ridiculous.
So this kid is 10 years old, mind you.
Yeah.
And there are people saying stuff like, here's one. He goes, your son would sit the bench for the remainder of the game if I was his coach. And stuff like, teach your son to be a better sportsman. And then there's the worst thing, I think, is that there were genuine like people commenting, you're like, if I was the coach on the other team, I would tell the pitcher to hit him with the ball the next time he came up to play. And that's, to me, the craziest thing ever. And I talked to Nico about this a little bit earlier in the day, but baseball is the only sport where if you talk trash or you do excessive celebration, the other team encourages their players to hurt you. I've never seen another league do that, right? In the NBA, I've never seen a coach say, you know what, like next time, like because he talked that trash to you, next time you go for a rebound, shove him, right? Whether the player does that on his or not, it's on his own free will. I've never seen a coach say that to someone, right? Yeah. Same in the NFL. I mean, other than the whole the bounty thing, that Sean Payton, like the bounty gate thing, there's never been a time when a coach would go up, like a head coach would go up to a player and be like, yeah, that excessive celebration back there, like you need to hit this wide receiver when he's not like looking and like take him out of the game. Yeah. I've never seen that. But in baseball, it is encouraged. So that to me is nuts, right? That is so unbelievably like crazy. Yeah. And I think that's part of the reason that we see that baseball is kind of struggling. And this is my whole thing, is because the whole thing about sports is it's marketability, right? Yeah. It's a source of entertainment. And in the growing social media world, you need more and more things to market off of, right? Which is why when the NBA, like, they choose the best player to show on everything, right? Yeah. That's why LeBron's always all over ESPN, and that's why when there's a new rookie who's going to be really good, he's all over all the sports networks, right? But the thing about that is that when you have the social media aspect, things that go viral help your sport, right? Yeah. Anytime there's something that gets hundreds of hits, you gain new fans, right? Yeah. So I think just excessive celebration as a whole is dumb, because that's like taking away from stuff.
Yeah, especially because like the games, like they're supposed to be fun. So it's I don't care how old you are, especially in the NFL. Right. Like, you shouldn't get penalized for celebrating a lot with your team or doing some dance that's excessive. It's like, let the guys have fun. Like, they're playing a game. Yeah. And let them be excited about them winning or scoring. Mm-hmm.
I think we're the, well, I mean, if we want to talk the NFL, because I mean, that's obviously been a big thing. Yeah. I think, for me personally, I think where, like, not the line gets crossed, but I think the difference between just like celebrating and poor sportsmanship is when like so like if you and me were on the same team and like you just threw me a pass and I just Randy Mossed Kyle, you know, like if we're celebrating doing our thing, like that's fine. But like the moment when it starts to become like we start getting in his face, for that's what I mean.
That's where involved, and that's why like I agree. Like, okay, NFL taunting is ridiculous now. But, like, I don't think it's a celebration if, like, that example, you catch it and then you just hand the ball to Kyle or get in his face. Like, that's excessive. That's taunting. But just celebrating me and you isn't excessive.
I think the reason that taunting should still be penalized, aside from excessive celebration, is that taunting instigates fights. And that's the last thing that these leagues want, is, like, a bunch of fights. So what I would say is, like, yeah, I would still penalize taunting so that you can kind of alleviate some of that. But excessive celebration, celebrating with your teammates, celebrating towards the fan, to me, it's nuts that you can still do that. Because, like, let's say this. Okay, so Damian Lillard hits the shot against the Thunder, waves goodbye, like, to the bench or whatever. That clip is so, like, first of all, that moment is so iconic now that they are using it in commercials for Hulu, right? Hulu is using that in their commercials, like using that moment, right? In the All-Star game, they were like, shoot the Damian Lillard shot, right? That thing is so crucial to the sport now that it's like one of the best sports moments in the sport of basketball's history, right? Yeah. And then it's partially because, one, like the situation, right? He hit the game winner, and then the wave was iconic, right? Yeah. NFL players catch 70 to 80-yard touchdown passes, do their dance in the end zone. The dance goes viral, right? Yeah. Justin Jefferson went viral for doing the gritty and stuff like that. Same with Jamar Chase. They both kind of coined that, you know, and made that go viral to the point where, like, now you're seeing it in other sports. Jose Batista in the it was the playoffs, and he hit the 3-run home run with the bat flip. Like, first of all, that is like one of the coldest bat flips I've ever seen in my life, right? Yeah. And that has become such an integral moment, and it went viral. It's all over social media. People are sharing it, retweeting it, liking. Like, it's so crazy. It's so crazy the fact that happened 7 years ago. And I Googled Jose Batista's name for this, and the second thing to pop up was Jose Batista bat flip because it's so iconic. But the fact is that, like, now baseball has become a sport where stuff like that, like Jose Batista does the bat flip, go crazy. They're like, yeah, you need to hit him with the pitch the next time. Like, that's like unacceptable. There's no room for that in that sport. That is so crazy to me. Like, I just, because, stuff is changing, right? Stuff is evolving, right? Like, every single league, okay, yeah, they used to have more class back in the 80s, right? There wasn't as much excessive celebration because there wasn't this need to go viral. There wasn't these dances you could do. Right, there's no social media. So as social media evolves, these leagues have to evolve with it. And I think baseball is the slowest one to evolve with it.
Yeah. And, I mean, kind of back to the kid, where I, like, sort of agree with, like, not being okay with it, where I, like, sort of agree with, like, looking down on him dancing, is just, for me, it's not, obviously, like, it doesn't really change, like, he's doing the same dance, but, like, for me, I would have, not rather, like, I don't have a problem with it, but, like, if I was him, I would have done that, like, after I hit home, got to the home plate.
You gotta look at this though. These are kids.
No, I know. I don't have a problem with it.
I know you don't have a problem with it, but it's like, my thing is, I think, like, these Twitter comments and these old ass dudes, like, hating on this kid because he did a celebration that's not in their times or something. Right. It's ruining youth sports.
Oh yeah.
I think these kids, let them be excited about a first home run, a first goal. I don't care, like, it's not like he's taunting the team. He just did a viral dance that he saw from someone he looked up to.
Right. I think,
and he's celebrating with the team.
I think from JJ's point of view, he's saying, and I think you'll see this especially as you get older, right? Nobody's going to be, like, actively celebrating while running the bases. They'll do it after, right? Because they've grown up and they're a little more mature. But if it's a kid, he's just excited. So like, that's the thing, is I didn't understand, like, all these people that were genuinely saying, he, like, the pitcher should give him one in his ribs the next time he's up to bat. I'm just like, what? No, that is crazy.
No, my problem with that, well, I mean, one, like, people like, oh yeah, you got to hit him with a pitch next time, or just how people react to someone celebrating. Is just the hypocrisy that comes with it. So, like, for me, the reason why I said, like, I would have waited till I got past home plate or whatever, or anything, is because I don't know what happened. Like, I don't know who won the game or whatever. But, like, the hypocrisy, I feel like, is the people, just like, say everyone in the comments were the parents of the other team. If he does that, and then their kid hits a home run to win the game, and then then they're like, "Oh yeah, do the dance." Yeah. So that's where I have a problem with it, and, like, with, like, the hypocrisy about it, where, and it's not just baseball, like, in any sport where you see someone either just to go to the extreme, excessive celebration, and you're, like, so mad about it because, like, genuinely, oh, that's, like, a player I don't like because he's on a not my favorite team. Right. That's where I get annoyed with, like, people being mad about it and stuff. But, like, for me, like, I personally would have, like, I mean, he's 10. Like, I do not care. Right. But, like, I personally would rather, like, it was my kid or if it was me. I don't have a kid, but but I would have rather been, like,
be, like,
at a different
about it.
Yeah, I guess, just for the sportsmanship side of it. But because, like, I don't know, if I was that pitcher, or if I was, like, on the other side of it, like, yeah, obviously it's not going to feel the greatest. So, like, for me, I wouldn't do that, just because if I was on the flip side of it, I wouldn't have wanted that, like, done to me. Well, but, like, I wouldn't care.
Let's go one step further then. Let's say he should have been more sportsmanlike, so, like, to make the pitcher not feel as bad.
That's a teachable moment then.
But here we go then. So why is the next time the pitcher is up to bat with him, why is the next thing hit him instead of strike him out?
Yeah.
Oh, right. Like, that's beyond. That's another culture thing.
That's beyond.
That's
me.
just, like, if you were in any other sport, right? In the NBA, let's say you get dunked on for trying to like jump with a dude.
Yeah.
The next time he goes to dunk on you, you should be trying to block it, not trying to take him out, shove him to the ground, potentially hurt him.
Yeah.
Right. So that's the only thing is like that's just like a weird culture thing that I think baseball has that no other sport does.
Some of baseball.
Some of baseball, but still like the fact
It's
that
still,
that's is still somewhat
relevant.
encouraged, right?
Yeah.
At like this point, and especially in youth sports.
Yeah, no,
like
that's crazy
They're
to
like
me.
in the MLB, it happens, right? These are guys are like adults, they're professionals, they're getting paid for it. It's still not good, but like 10-year-olds, and you're encouraging them to hit each other with pitches. It's just like, how are we supposed to teach children sportsmanship and humility if your response is let's go throw a ball at him, at his head, at his ribs, or like anything like that? It's beyond me. It is so crazy.
Right. And like to the sportsmanship side of thing, I'm just saying that because of like how I would like want to be, or how I would not react, but just like if I was on the flip side of that. But like it's really to each their own. So like if you like, my problem is just the hypocrisy. So like if he's gonna do that, then like I would want him to be okay having that done to him. Right. So I mean, that's kind of my bigger thing.
Yeah, and I think that's
like
fine.
I was saying, that's just like a teachable moment. Like in the comments, like I wouldn't have been like mad about it if like there was comments like, oh, like very happy for him, but like make sure he like learns the sportsmanship aspect of it. Because I mean, like I do agree with like kids have to learn to be humble and learn how to be good sports. So like you said, like I don't think that kid would like if like someone danced at him like that. But like it's not, I mean, again, the main thing is don't be like, take him out because he did a dance. It should be okay, love it. Maybe next time I have a talk like, hey, like this would be more humble of you.
And that's what I'm saying. It's like from a coach's standpoint, like you're a coach of youth sports. My dad's been coaching youth soccer for like ever, and like he teaches
some baseball.
Yeah, he coaches some baseball too. He teaches the kids the fundamentals. You teach them how to, whatever. But one thing my dad also does is he teaches stuff like humility, right? The team scores a goal, great, be excited. But like as soon as they start talking about the other team, he kind of shuts that down. He's like, no, we scored a good goal. Don't talk to them. Like we can celebrate together, but like don't like engage with the other side, right? So as a youth sports coach, you have some of that responsibility to teach humility. But I think this is one of those moments where you want to teach him something, have the coach talk to him post game. It's not the other coach or the other pitcher's job to humble him for the other coach. Like that is not. That is so out of line. And I think that culture and that idea in baseball is something that has to go.
Yeah, no, I mean, kind of back to what you were saying, like, it's really not, I don't think it's killing baseball.
I don't think it's killing baseball.
I think it's not.
It's hurting the game a
little
bit.
It's hurting because, I mean, to also add in just baseball and how it started, like you were saying, become more of an advanced stats sport, like just having that level of it. And so like for someone who's trying to get into baseball, to have that like jump to like, okay, to know who's good, know who's bad, whatever, you have to know what all the advanced stats mean and all that. And then even on top of that, like you're starting to get into it, but then there's part of the, like you were saying, the culture that's just like, oh, if you do something that we don't like, we're gonna like hurt you. So and that, like you were saying, that's just turning people off from the sport.
And I'm not saying that baseball is dying because of this sole reason, right? But I'm saying that baseball is struggling to find marketability. And I think they're doing things like juicing balls, taking away shifts so that they can encourage bigger hitters, like more runs and all this stuff, because
they're
they
just
think
trying to make it more exciting.
Right, they're trying to make it more exciting. But here's my problem is that there's still this underlying culture of in baseball you can't celebrate or you can't do something a certain way because then the other team's going to hit you with the baseball or whatever. But like I think that's another thing that is like outdated, because the best way to get people excited for baseball is if you're going to encourage more home runs, more big hits, is celebrations, right? If a dude hits a home run and does a bat flip, it'll insane photo, insane video. People like I filmed some baseball for like the school, and something that people tell you when you shoot baseball is like it's really tough to follow the ball. So if you're filming a hitter and he hits a home run, you're not supposed to follow the ball over the fence. You're supposed to focus on the batter and on his celebration when he runs around, right? He'll run around the bases, and then he'll meet at home. He'll either celebrate with the bat flip, or he'll celebrate at home with his teammates. But they were like, that's the shot you want, because that's what's going to be marketable on social media. So that's something that's interesting. And I think that, stuff like this little kid is like kind of goes to show, like, I mean, it went viral, so many likes and stuff, because people are like, oh, what an awesome moment. But then the comments are all
bashing him.
Bashing him.
Bashing a 10-year-old.
And
That's crazy.
He's 10.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was my little rant for today. So let's jump back in. Let's get some NBA. We saw the first round of the playoffs go through. So Nico, you got any takeaways from these first couple games? Because there was a couple really good games
and some
ugly ones.
I just want to start off by saying, like, the league is in good hands. Like, this is the first time like 4 players under 22 have scored 30 plus points. Like John Morant, Anthony Edwards, Jordan Poole, Tyrese Maxey, like, they went off.
Yeah.
And these guys are 20, 21, 22. So, I mean, I think that was just insane. I mean, I'll just, like, talk a little bit about each game. Just to start off with the Jazz versus Mavericks. I think, this was a lot closer than I thought it was going to be.
That game was ugly.
And the Mavs didn't have Luka. So it's like, if they do get Luka back, like, next game, like, anytime soon, I feel like the Mavs will be set, just because I don't think the Jazz are that good of a team. Like, we talked about it, like, we all think they're big pretenders, but, like, if the game was that close without Dallas's star player, then, I mean, I don't know what that series is going to hold. But Timberwolves Grizzlies, huge win for the Timberwolves. Anthony Edwards went off. Ja had a good game, but I think the Grizzlies will win the series. But if the Timberwolves can play like they just did, like, every game, I think that'll be a very fun series to watch.
I still think it's tough to say that you think the Grizzlies. I mean, like, you can say, like, yeah, I still think the Grizzlies will win, but I mean, at this point in time, I think this is anyone's series.
Oh,
at
yeah.
This point. Like, I think. The Grizzlies still could win. Do I think they will? Probably not anymore, because, I mean, the way that team played the other night, I mean, it goes to show that, like, I mean, Ja is like, it's Ja, Dylan Brooks, and then, like, Desmond Bane, and then the rest of the team didn't show up, right? You got guys like Jaren Jackson with 12, right? And I'm pretty sure Ja had a pretty inefficient night shooting. So when you're matched up against, like, that little big three in, like, Minnesota of Anthony Edwards, Karl Anthony Towns, and D'Angelo Russell. Yeah. And I mean, even Malik Beasley having 23 points. That team's pretty deep. So I think it's really a momentum game for both of these squads, because with both, I mean, these are both two really young rosters, and I would say that, like, the Timberwolves have the slight edge on playoff experience, but it's because, I mean, Karl Anthony Towns took them to the playoffs that one time, and when they had Jimmy Butler, and then they, like, lost first round. So Karl Anthony Towns and D'Angelo Russell have playoff experience.
I mean, you could say, like, Patrick Beverley's a big help because he's a seasoned vet. Like, he has playoff experience, so he helps those young guys a lot.
Yeah, I do agree, though. I do think that this Memphis team is a little bit, I wouldn't say in over their heads, but, like, they are very young and very inexperienced come playoff time.
And that's why, like, I know, like I said in my picks, like, I don't have them making a huge run. Like, I think if it works out, then Grizzlies would play the Warriors next. Right. The Warriors win, too. And I have the Grizzlies losing, like, the second round because of that inexperience and that youth they have. Yeah,
and I think it's interesting, too. Like, for two teams as young as they are, it's all about momentum. Yeah. So
I also, just in that series, I think like you guys were saying, that the Timberwolves have sort of that, like, edge on the Grizzlies just because of playoff experience. And, I mean, for me, I feel like this one is kind of just definitely a momentum series.
Yeah.
But, I mean, it's game one, so, like, obviously, who knows? I mean, for me personally, I think the biggest factor about this game just in general was Steven Adams. He ran around for 24 minutes.
Yeah.
He had 3 rebounds and 3 assists.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's pretty bad.
And no points.
I was about to say, Steven Adams has never been known for his offensive ability, but, like, with no rebounds, it's pretty bad. Yeah. It's a bad night for him.
So I think if he sort of has, like, more of a Steven Adams game, then, like, I mean, he had 4 fouls, so, like, obviously that plays a factor to, like, how much he wants to, like, get into it with Kat and stuff like that, but I think that was just the biggest factor for game one.
And especially because I think he's one of the few guys on that team that actually has playoff experience. Actually, no, they went to the playoffs last year. Play-in. No, the Grizzlies.
Oh, Grizzlies.
Didn't they sneak in?
I don't play in. Maybe I don't think they got to actually play.
No, it was.
What am I thinking?
It was Lakers and Golden State.
Because Lakers and Golden State, but they were in the play-in.
It was Golden State and.
I swear Memphis was in the play-in bracket last year, but I mean,
I don't know
besides the point,
but but
still, I mean, the team.
No, they didn't make the playoffs. They didn't make the playoffs because they were like, this is the second time they've made it in 18 years.
Right.
And the last time was like 4 years ago.
No, look, they made it right. Utah Jazz, Memphis Grizzlies.
No, I'm thinking of Timberwolves. My bad.
2021, they were in the. They did, yeah, because they played the Jazz and they got beaten 5. Okay. So I mean, but that's still you're discounting like 1 year of playoff experience versus the Timberwolves have multiple years, right? Because they've got Pat Bev, they've got D'Angelo Russell who's had multiple, they've got a bunch of these other guys. I mean, the only really young guy on that team that probably doesn't have any playoff experience is Anthony Edwards. Yeah, and that Grizzlies team has changed a lot too. So it's very interesting to see what's going to be happening with that series. But any other picks? Any other games that stood out?
Stood out. I'll just talk about 2. First, Raptors Sixers. We kind of talked about it. We thought the Raptors could maybe try to upset them, but I feel like with Scotty Barnes' injury, I think that's
never mind.
Take that back. Like the Sixers looked pretty good too. Like they were struggling. Kind of like people thought James Harden Sixers can't make a push.
He had a good game.
The Sixers looked really good.
Tyrese Maxey.
He went off.
That guy. He's crazy. He is crazy.
Yeah. Okay. This is kind of an obvious pick, but we can talk about it for a little. Nets Celtics. I'm really bummed this isn't an Eastern Conference Finals matchup. Yeah. But this series is going to be, I think, one of the best series.
Yeah, I think it's going to be crazy that the best series in this playoffs is probably going to come first round in the East.
Yeah. Just the way I think it's going to go 7. Kyrie's insane. His offense is insane. We talked about it. His defense is where it hurts him, though.
Yeah.
KD, too, because I just saw
a
clip. And Jason Tatum's the best player on the Celtics, and KD had his back towards him. So KD just let Jason Tatum back cut him with ease.
Yeah.
And so I feel like you have 2 guys who are one of the best offensive players in the NBA. But if they can't pick up their defensive slack, then I think the Celtics take it.
And especially because the Celtics are the best defense in the league. Yeah. So
I'm not gonna. Oh, my bad. But
no, I was just even though Marcus Smart got cooked by Kyrie that whole game.
I didn't with KD. Obviously, he missed his assignment with the back door, but
okay. But if you are Kevin Durant in that situation, I'm keeping my eyes locked on their best player.
Yeah, but also Marcus Smart is getting double teamed as the clock is going down. It's not like there's 20 seconds left.
In my opinion, though, with the way that play unfolded, it was just miscommunication. I wouldn't say that it's Kevin Durant's fault because Jaylen Brown was up top. He was the closest guy to Kevin Durant when Jason Tatum back cut was Jaylen Brown. Which if I'm defending, I need to know where he needs to know where Jason Tatum is. Yeah. But off that cut with Kyrie standing in the paint. And they just drew a double. If he's gonna pass out to that, Jaylen Brown would have been wide open if he stayed with Kevin. If he stayed with Jason Tatum. If he stays with Jason Tatum on that cut, Jaylen Brown's wide open.
Yeah, but that just speaks to I'm not obviously I'm not some huge college athlete basketball player, but it's just fundamental defense at that point. You see Jaylen Brown on the top of the wing, and I'm guessing he may have saw Jason Tatum on the other side. You can't just look at Jaylen Brown and have your back towards Jason Tatum.
No, you have to
switch up your stance so you can see both players. And if you see Jason Tatum cutting, then boom, you communicate. Right. Kyrie steps up earlier.
Kyrie does need to step up earlier.
Or KD stays, Kyrie steps up earlier so that pass doesn't get through.
Right.
KD just stood there.
And it is a testament to the Nets. I do think that they have one of the most potent offenses in the league. Yeah. But their defense is just horrendous defense.
This series, and say the Nets win it, future series, it's literally just going to depend on how long KD and Kyrie can keep it up. Yeah. Because they're not they'll get a couple stops here and there, or they're KD he'll have blocks here and there and stuff, but the Nets aren't like some profound defense.
Yeah,
So
they can't depend on the other team missing shots or the other team making a bad pass every single play.
See, I think if the Nets meet another team with as as strong of an offense as them, if not like stronger, they're going to struggle because they have no way of stopping them. So I think the Celtics have a really good offense, but their defense is their selling point this season, and it has been this entire season. So I think that's why these games are going to be so close, because the Nets offense is insane, but their defense is lacking, and the Celtics defense is insane. I mean, their offense isn't lacking by any means, which is why these games are close, but I mean, I think if they match up against a team like the Bucks, how are they supposed to stop Giannis?
Right.
Like,
And I mean, kind of like I was saying, is how long KD and Kyrie can keep it up.
Right.
Like, if either one of them like has a bad night, they're going to lose. Like, there's no like, I mean, maybe in the series it doesn't like win or lose the series, but like obviously you need to win every game. And if KD or if I don't think KD is gonna have like a bad night or anything, but like if I had to pick between the two of them, I'd put money on Kyrie having a bad night before KD.
I mean, it's also just tough with the Nets because I mean, James Harden wasn't like insane with the Nets, but like they don't have an insane third option.
No,
like you said, like if one of them has a bad night.
Right. That's what I mean.
Seth Curry has the ability to heat up, but he's not going to.
But he's not like a third option where he can drop.
He's not going to drop 35
if Kyrie or KD has a bad night. Where like the Celtics, they got Jason Tatum, Marcus Smart, Jaylen Brown.
Okay, Marcus Smart's not dropping 35.
Okay, but he's a good third option to score if like they need something.
I guess, but I would not call him a good third option. I think he's a solid defender, but I think banking on him to have an offensive night when Jason Tatum or Jaylen Brown don't, I think that's going to be tough. Like I would say him and Seth Curry would have the same amount of chances dropping 35.
But the reason why that doesn't affect them as much is because they're able to hang their hat on the defensive side of the floor.
Right, and that helps. And I mean, a testament to how poorly the Nets defended.
They couldn't rebound either.
I mean, Dante's not here, but I wish he was because he had this horrendous take earlier.
Through the coals.
35-year-old, excuse me, 35-year-old Oklahoma City Thunder legend Al Horford had 20 points and 15 rebounds against the Nets.
He just plays the game the right way.
He is 35 years old. That is crazy. That's just a testament to like the Nets can't rebound and the Nets can't defend. And it's probably because Andre Drummond's their starting center.
It's just a testament to like knowing your role.
Right.
Like Horford, like he's not like he has a standout night because you see how he's impactful, but like in all actuality, he's not. Obviously, he's not Jason Tatum. Like he's not impactful in that way and having a standout night, but like doing his job, has a much bigger impact than just like him as a player.
Yeah. Right. Nico, any other games that caught your eye?
Not really caught my eye, but I do think the Nuggets Warriors will be a good series. I just feel like
I'm not huge on that.
I think I'm not saying it's gonna go 7, but I feel like it'll be like every game will be close.
I feel
like the Warriors can take it in 5. I would say 6. I think the Nuggets can pull up too, but I think the Warriors just have a better overall team and like especially with the way Jokic been playing.
Jokic just can't win games by himself, and I think the problem is like how we kind of said, like if one player doesn't go off, who's your third option to go off?
Right.
And they're banking on guys like Will Barton and Aaron Gordon to go off.
They
can.
I think it was JaMychal Green and Aaron Gordon. They had 15 points together.
Less, it was 11.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Aaron Gordon had 8. Their second leading scorer was Will Barton, who had 24. Good night from him, but you can't bank on that. You can't bank on that for 7 games in a series.
Especially when you're going against Steph, Clay.
Most realistic, it'll go 5, but I could see it going 6 because I feel like Jokic. I mean, obviously he's led the team to a 5 seed.
I mean, also the thing the Warriors did was just
6.
Jordan Poole went off.
Oh yeah,
but. It'll be interesting. I'm guessing 5 for that series. I think they maybe steal 1, but that Warriors team is too tough. And then did you hit on like the Phoenix game we saw?
I think it's gonna be an easy sweep.
It's gonna be a sweep.
The Suns have the easiest ride. Like, there's no way Pelicans are winning that game. Like, winning the game.
Okay, and then sorry, go for it.
Well, I mean, to easiest ride, out of everyone, they definitely have the easiest path to the finals, but. I think if Luka like actually gets back healthy, and like Dallas moves on, obviously, I feel like that would be a much better series than like 5 games. Like I feel like
it was 6.
Yeah, I mean, like, I think Dallas could, like, give them legitimate trouble if that's the matchup and Luka is, like, actually healthy and Luka not limping or in and out every other game.
Right.
Yeah.
Let's do some hot takes real quick before we leave.
Hot takes.
I'm calling Dante right now to get his hot take.
Ho, ho.
Is he seriously not going to answer?
You text him?
Yeah, I texted him. I was like, I'm going to call you in a minute for your hot take. Are you serious? First caller on the podcast, and he doesn't even answer. Oh my gosh.
Wow.
Dante, what?
I'll fill in for Dante.
I need his hot take.
No,
his
I'll fill in for him.
his outlandish hot take.
Let me try. It'll be fun if he answers me.
Kyrie will win MVP next season.
Yeah, that's what Dante would probably say. Are you calling him now?
Let's see if he answers.
The Nets win the finals. Nah, Dante didn't say that. Because if that happens, he's gonna hold that on me.
Wow.
Third time's a charm.
What a fake friend. Don't call him at the same time.
Doesn't even show up to record our podcast.
I know. He doesn't even come. Because what? He's at home celebrating Easter with his family over a podcast with us? Nah.
Third time's a charm.
What a shame. Are we really calling him 3 times? Okay, while that's... I thought he just picked up.
I did too.
Okay, while that's ringing, Nico, you got a hot take?
I didn't prepare one.
Off
yours?
Off
Do you have
the
one?
dome hot take. Okay, mine is scorching hot, right? Scorching hot take here. Minnesota sweeps the Grizzlies. It's a hot take, and I think it could happen.
That is quite.
I think it could happen.
Quite a steamy hot take.
I think it could happen.
Oh my gosh.
Dante Ellison.
Wow.
Capital
Dante.
L in the last name.
Dante Ellis.
Love you, Dante, if you're
Yeah.
watching or listening. Yeah, I would say my hot take is Minnesota sweeps Memphis.
Based off game 1?
Based off everything I've been seeing.
Okay.
I think they sweep. That team's
Okay.
tough.
I was just
That
making sure
team is
you weren't.
tough.
Just making sure you weren't pulling a Paul Pierce.
Based on that, that's my hot take. Second hot take, LeBron is not in LA when his contract is over, but that's not really a hot take.
Yeah. That's
Third hot take. Third hot take is the Raptors don't make the playoffs next year. I think they're young.
Yeah.
I think they're young, but I think there's some teams in the East that are going to be fighting for those playoff spots
You got a
in that
fourth?
mix. Do I got a fourth hot take? Yeah, my fourth hot take is that Steph doesn't win another ring by the time his career ends.
I can see that.
You want my fifth hot take?
I want to hear it.
My fifth hot take is the Utah Jazz are a top 10 pick in the draft next year.
Next year.
I think next year the Utah Jazz or not top 10. I'll say next year the Jazz don't make the playoffs.
Yeah.
That's my hot take because I think they if they blow it up, if either one of those trades, right? If they're trading Mitchell, if they're trading Gobert, they're going to be teetering.
If they
on.
trade Mitchell, then
Okay, fine. Let me change that because I don't like that. I don't like that pick. I think next year the Jazz will be a play-in team, so they'll be 7 through 10.
Okay.
I think that's my hot take. My hot take is Jazz are a play-in team next year. Raptors don't make the playoffs next year. Minnesota sweeps the Memphis Grizzlies. Those are my 3 hot takes for you.
Lakers make playoffs next year.
I don't know. I want to talk. Like at some point, I just want to sit down, just record, and I want to
talk about the Lakers.
No, actually, this is kind of something I want to do.
Can we
at
sit
some
down
point.
and talk about Westbrook?
Okay, we gotta end the show now. We gotta end the show now. Thank you guys for watching or listening. We will be back next week for our last episode in this room, I believe.
This is true.
It's going to be next week.
Next week.
And then we'll have some changes to make over the summer. We don't know how often Dante will be joining us over the summer because we'll go back to Columbus to film and record some of these every week. And Dante will be going back home. And so we'll see. We'll try to get him as involved in the content as possible. But first, yeah, we just want to thank you guys for listening. Thank you for your support. And we'll be back for another Cork It podcast.
Book it.
book it. Do we need like a sign off? See ya.
Make sure you like, subscribe.
Oh yeah, make sure you like, subscribe, follow us on all the social medias.
If you don't like our takes, then you can cork it.
Oh, got him.
All right. We'll see you next
I
week.
hated that.